What's the deal, my people? You know it is Don Tony Teflon, and I'm back at you another one, and this one is Better Call Saul, Season 6, Episode 12, Waterworks. Well, I think that we are at the end, people. It's pretty clear exactly how this is going to end. If you have been listening to my channel, especially the last two videos I dropped, I told you that this was going to happen, and I told you exactly how this was going to happen. And lo and behold, there we have it. We're going to go over this whole episode, and then I'm going to give you my thoughts on exactly how it's going to end.
Marion, this is Valerie with Life Alert. Are you okay?
No, Valerie, I'm not okay. There's a criminal standing in my kitchen threatening me. He's a wanted man, and his name is Saul Goodman.
What up to my thugs, nerds, freaks, and geeks? You're now rocking with the best of Don Tony Teflon. If you can, please subscribe and click that bell so you can be notified anytime I drop a new video. As always, 500 is the like goal. If this video hits 500 likes, I will give a subscriber who leaves a comment on this video a $25 Amazon gift card. Now that that's out the way, let's get right into it. A lot of people had predicted that we were going to see a flash forward of Kim. See Kim in black and white. And that's exactly what we got this episode. We seen her down in Florida. We seen her working for the sprinkler company. And we seen her living a mundane life. A life that it just does not seem exciting to what she was used to. It just seems like she was going through the motions. Was she happy? And you know, it was really hard to tell if she was truly happy doing what she was doing. It seemed like, you know, she was handling it and she was living it and she was doing it, but it just didn't seem truly happy living this life. But she was willing to go through the motions. She was willing to go to all the parties. She was willing to do her happy birthday celebrations with her co-workers. She was willing just to go through her life and let it be the way it was until she got that phone call. And this dude, he's his own worst nightmare. That's why we seen the whole situation with the crossroads, because that was his crossroad. He could have just kept driving, and if he would have kept driving, then this motion that he put forward would never have came back to haunt him. But it did, because he couldn't keep driving. He turns around, he gets her on the phone, she hears the name, she knows it's him. She shuts down all of her blinds, and she's like, yo, you should not be calling him. And then we see how he is just an asshole to her on the phone, bragging that he's still getting away with it, saying all this garbage, and then he has the audacity to tell her, well, if you're feeling bad about it, you need to turn yourself in. You know, that's something he should have never said, because right after that, that's when we see her take the trip. And where does she go and take the trip to? We see her go and take the trip to Howard's wife's place, and we see her give up the Alpha David with everything. She gives up, spills the whole bean about the crime family, Lalo being dead. She gives up everything to him, tells him how it was a scheme to make Howard look bad, how he got killed in the apartment, and that she's never going to find the body. And the wife is like, are you going to go to jail for this? And she's like, I don't know. I gave this already over to the district attorney's office. So that's it. The cat's out the bag. It's done. That whole situation, that whole whatever it was, someone's going to jail for this whole situation. There truly is no way around that. And we see her start crying when she's on that bus on the ride home, because she was never built for that type of lifestyle. She was never going to succeed in that type of lifestyle like him. She has too much of a conscience, and a conscience just got the best of her here. And that is when we see her just crying her eyes out. And this was all brought on by Saul's big mouth. If he would have never called her, she would have most likely never have done this. But it was his big mouth that got her to go out there and do this. After that, we pick up right where we left off, where Gene was breaking into the cancer man's house. He does get inside of the house, and we do see the cancer man just passed out, We hear him snoring. He's passed out. He's done. So Gene can go about his business of robbing this dude. And I don't know what's on this cat's mind, because you have one job. You go in there, you take the pictures, and you bounce. That's all you have to do. But nope. Here this dude is smelling himself once again. He's got to go upstairs. He's got to go and fix himself a drink. How you fixing yourself a drink in the guy's house you're robbing while he's passed out right down there? And you see the guy's watch collecting. You got to go and take the watches. There's no need. You see, you can make enough money to buy your own watches. Once you take the watches, the guy's going to realize something's missing, right? That's the whole reason why they do the job the way they do it, so that the people don't know that they've actually been robbed. So then he's having his little drinky drink, and he looks over on top, and boom, there's nothing there. The guy is gone. And he's like, oh. And now the guy is walking around, stumbling around. He's trying to get down. The guys look like he's about to come upstairs. But then he just sits on the steps, and eventually he just passes out sitting on the steps. And Gene was ready. In this episode, we seen Gene almost get turned to violence twice. We seen him right here at this time where he's about to hit him in the head with his dead dog's urn. It's going to knock him out because of it, but the guy passes out so he doesn't have to. He then goes outside, and here you go, messing with amateurs. I told y'all all about this whole situation, what happens when you mess with amateurs. He goes out there, and there is Jeff sitting out there with the cops behind him. The cops want nothing to do with him. The cops have nowhere to deal with this dude whatsoever. They're just eating the fish taco. That ain't even a good fish taco. But this guy, being so stupid that he is, he gets all nervous. Not only does he just take off like a bat out of hell, but then he winds up crashing the car outside to another car. And that leads the cops to go over there and bag him up. Gene sees him, gets bagged up, and just walks away and leaves him to where he's at. We then skip back to the Breaking Bad timeline, and we get a continuation of the first scene that we saw, which Saul had the divorce papers from Kim. She wants them signed, and then he tells his secretary to let her in. She goes inside there, and listen, again, as I told you, the guy's just acting like an asshole, acting too cocky, acting like, oh, this doesn't bother me. You want these signed? I'll sign it for you. No problem. And we hear that Kim at this particular time did not take her part of the money. She didn't want anything to do with the money, and he's over here making jokes about it. Oh, you should have bought it. You could have bought all the swampland in Florida. Why are you going to Florida? I guess it doesn't matter. And really, obviously, this is not really him. This is him full Saul. Like, he's seeing the full Saul, and she's seeing the full Saul of him at this particular time. Him just not caring, him just acting like the way he acted in Breaking Bad. So this has got nothing to do with Jimmy. This has nothing to do with Gene. This is just the full Saul, and he's letting it loose on her at this particular time. I mean, I understand why he's doing it. He's just trying to act like he truly doesn't care. We know that he really does, but this is Saul, and this is why you see Saul act the way he does in Breaking Bad. This is what all this is setting up. She then goes outside after she gets it signed, and then we see her run into Jesse out there, and this is a decent scene. Nothing to hate on, nothing spectacular. Him just asking her, hey, is this guy really a good lawyer? His boys needs a good lawyer, and this guy just likes his commercials, but is he truly good? And she's like, not this guy, the guy I used to know was, but not this guy that she was just shown. And then that's when she breaks loose in the rain and heads out. After that, we see Gene finally make it home. He gets to his house, he's feeling comfortable, and you know what he's going to do, what he always does, he's going to make himself a drink. So he makes himself a drink, he puts his feet up, and he puts his phone down, knowing that he is going to get a phone call on that phone. And lo and behold, he does, and it's Jeff, who has been arrested. And I like the way they did the whole dynamic, like, oh, this is calling your father, oh, this is how you doing, son, how's everything going? And basically Jeff's like, yo, I got arrested, and for some reason they're trying to pin a burglary on me that I had nothing to do with. So what happened was that the guy who has cancer woke up, he seen the cop outside, He ran out there, flagged the cop down, was like, yo, I just got robbed. And somehow the cop said, hey, it must be this guy because he's the one who pulled off like that. And then Gene is like, listen, do you have anything on you? Do you have anything on your possession from this guy? And he's like, no. He's like, well, then calm down. Don't worry about it. You're going to get off of this. All you got to do is just do your thing. Listen to me. I'll be there with the bail money and we'll take care of this. No problem. And that's where he leaves it. Gene is very confident that this is going to get taken care of. It's not going to be a big deal. But you don't know how people are going to react when they're put under pressure. So then he goes over and makes the phone call to Marion. And he tells Marion the story of exactly what's going on with her son. And then she gets a little suspicious here. She starts getting suspicious and saying, you know, how come he didn't call me? Why did he call you? And he has a quick line for this, like, oh, he just was scared to call you. But she keeps talking about it, and then he brings up Albuquerque and the laws in Albuquerque, and that they're not the same as they are here. And that's it. That was the final clue. I told you before, if you checked my other videos, that she was picking up on this guy, that she knew that this guy was bogus and everything. She was not dumb. She was going to pick up on it, and she was going to get him bagged up. So she hangs up the phone. He says he's going to go over there in the morning. He does show up there in the morning, and she, as you see, plugged her laptop right in, got on there, gets on the laptop. He looks around the house. She's not answering the door. He's looking around. He goes around to the back. He lets himself in. He sees her on the computer. And then she's like, well, why don't you just go without me? Well, I mean, why don't you just go without me? I'm just going to stay here. And then he sees the computer halfway open. He looks and opens up that computer, and there it is. Better Call Saul commercials going on. And she's like, you think this is me? It's not me. She's like, listen, dude. All I did was use Ask Jarvis. How anyone has Ask Jarvis anymore is a little crazy to me, but Ask Jarvis for con men out in Albuquerque, and boom, you popped right up. And you're the one who did this. After that, listen, it truly looks like he is about to say, I told you he was driven to violence twice in this episode almost, and this is the second time. Because when he grabs that telephone cord, there's no doubt in my mind that it seemed like he was going to strangle her with the telephone cord. And I do believe that it went through his mind to do so. I don't think they just put that scene in there accidentally. I think it went through his mind, truly went through his mind, that he's going to strangle her. And then boom, just like she says, listen, the whole dog thing was nothing but a con. Everything was just a scam and everything else. He rips the phone out the wall. He's going crazy. Like, listen, you don't want to do this. You don't want to call. And she's got the life alert right around her neck. And he's like, you don't want to do it. You don't want to do it. This is your last chance. Don't do it. But listen, when you deal with someone who's old, they have nothing else to live for. You can't really threaten them with anything. She's already old. She hits that button and boom, she tells and spills the beans on him. And boom, he has to take off like a bat out of hell. And that's the bottom line. And that is how this episode ended. Really good episode. I mean, one of the best episodes that I've seen them do without a shadow of a doubt. I think a lot of people who had theories, a lot of their theories are all gone. Some people got it right. Some people got it wrong. But I think it's pretty obvious right now on how it's going to end. I see it 100% how it's going to go down. I think I already nailed it, but I think there's one little caveat that I didn't see coming that I'm going to put in the next video to tell you that how that's going to go down. But everything else, I think is going to go exactly the way I said it's going to go in my video. If you didn't see that video, I'll put the link in the description, and it'll be on the back of the cards here. So you'll be able to check the cards, and at the end of the video, I'll link it there too. And go ahead and take a look at it, because I'm telling you, everything I said there 100% came true in this video. Amazing episode. I want to know what you thought about it in the comment section. Please let me know how you felt. And if you like the way I do this, please thumbs up this, spread this across the realm, and as always, subscribe. And until next time, you know who it is. Peace and stay sexy.